Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it? All right, we are live. We are live. How's everybody doing today? Welcome. Come on in. Testing 1, 2. Let me know how the sound is today. We are ready to get started with an exciting topic. And 1 minute. Uh-oh. Hold on real quick. All righty, we have got it together now. We're ready to start our show. And welcome to this November the 19th, 2023. It's almost said and done. I have my spectacles so that I do not make a spectacle of myself. I'll put those on in a moment. Got to clean them. So welcome. How's everybody doing? It is Sunday, the day of the sun, the day of inspiration. And we had a thought-provoking, interesting topic today. We're going to be talking about the issue of child support. I know this touches a lot of people out there, and we want to bring clarity to this situation, just like we do with most situations here, bringing clarity. All right, so let somebody else know that may be dealing with the issue of child support, that they don't want to miss the show. We will provide clarity with the facts. Absolutely, as we always do. Let me make sure that everything is good here. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button as you come on in here. We're going to give you that information that you can get nowhere else and deliver it like nobody's business. All right, come on in. We'll have a great time today. If you have something that you need to discuss or want to talk about, you want to share with us, please let us know. Hit up that comment section for us, please. Let me do a little homework and then we'll get going for the day. All right. That shower just felt too good that I didn't want to get out. It just felt too good. I'm not sorry. Victoria is here. All Gods is here. 777. Thank you for those. Appreciate it. Victoria is in the house saying peace and blessings to all the family. 777. All the KnowledgeWellians out there. King Toby is amongst us at 777. Thank you for that. Very good. Very good. Lighten up the board today. I really appreciate that. Just shows that you're engaged and you are not a robot. Thank you. Know Thyself is in the building. Greetings to all. And wait a minute. You switched to 777, did you? I thought you had 772 or 722. Okay. Know Thyself. I'm starting to know thyself. Greetings to all. Thank you very much for that recognition and acknowledgement. Thank you. Okay, so let me get the business out of the way so we can get going, family. All right, donations too. And Heather Bell, I want to say, thank you very much for your donation last week. You are the only to donate, but I appreciate it. Thank you. We did a double take when we saw the email, like somebody actually donated. Donations to the $ AmericanConsulate. We appreciate you. Oh, my Patreon subscribers got my back. They got my back. I really appreciate that. So not to diminish what my Patreon subscribers over at I'll talk about that in a moment. All right. So donations to $ AmericanConsulate. That is our Cash App. And we appreciate every little and big thing that you do. Thank you very much. Also, our email for contacting us for, let's say, consultations or what have you. All right. You can hit us up at the KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. All right. It'd be great to talk to you, especially once you hear the topic we're talking about today. I'm sure you'll probably want to take advantage of a consultation so that you will know how to tailor an action. All right, tailor an action to address your specific and individual needs. Okay, so pay attention, and that's the email. You got any questions, any comments, whatever, that's how you do it. Okay. There you are. How's the sound, everybody? Are we good? I want to make sure there's no distortion, crackling, or anything like that. So just trying to monitor that. All right. Also, if you are interested in any products that we provide here that Kirkwood Beauty Productions, that can be custom t-shirts, all the brand product lines like that just provide finances to us here at KnowledgeWell to keep us on the air. All right. And you get a product. How about that? T-shirt, whatever represented. All right. So over at the Square site, there are a lot of stuff there. You can go to the website there and go shopping as you do. All right. Buy somebody a KnowledgeWell T-shirt or whatever for Christmas, and you know, you might not celebrate it, whatever, but that's a great opportunity to tell them about what it is that we do here and the type of teaching. Okay. All those haters or whatever they're called, disinformation specialists, drop them a T-shirt or a coffee mug or something like that. All right. All right. Also, the Patreon. That's where I was talking about earlier. That's our that exclusive offering that we have for our supporters, those that value their education here at KnowledgeWell and actually demonstrate and show it through their investment. That's how you should see it. All right. That $15 a month, whatever, it works out like $3 or so, something per week. Okay. That's value. You're investing. Look at it, see it as an investment. Okay. All right. So Patreon is where you can have that exclusivity. Go on over there and join us today. All right. And as always, nothing that you hear here or see here, all right, or anything that is said is ever intended to be legal advice. All right. This is only for educational purposes. All right. And if you need an attorney or legal advice, please seek yourself a competent attorney. And as always, please be advised. All right. With that being said, it is time to rumble. I'm going to get that. Beep. Still working on stuff. Still building. Appreciate your patience. All right. With that being said, again, let's look at. Uh-oh. Can we make sure that we hit that thumbs up? You know, I often put in the comment section, if you take something from here, simply leave something. All right. Even if you're watching this on replay. All right. I monitor all of the metrics. I monitor throughout the week, even. All right. All the thumbs up and whatever. And when we see 50 viewers and only 13 thumbs up, what does that mean? I mean, it takes you just a mere second just to reach down under my picture under the screen there. Just hit that thumbs up button. All right. It means a lot to content providers. It's nothing to you, right? Basically, it's nothing. It's just a movement of your finger, but it means a hell of a lot to us, all right? Especially for people that pride themselves in doing very thorough studies to present to you freely. I'm not charging you for anything, and I'm looking out for you. So look out for me. Boop. Simple thumbs up. Shouldn't hurt. Doesn't draw blood. All right. With that being said, we are talking about child support and whose property you're holding. All right. And if you take something, leave something. Just a simple thumbs up, because you're about to get a whole lot of information that's going to help you out. Okay. Don't be a thief. All right. Let's get going. So before we get really rolling, you know how I do. I like to lay down the basis and so that we have something to stand upon, and it make sure that it is sound and not wobbly, not superstitious, not conjectural, not mere commentary, right? Actual facts to back up whatever assertions or claim that I'm making here at KnowledgeWell Media. All right. Unlike any other channel or platform. That's the service you get here. So what I want to start off with, all right, is looking at the term civil. All right, stick with me. Let me pull it up for you. Okay, civil. Where's my screen at? Where's my screen? Oh, there you are. Hold on. Civil, as opposed to and distinguishable from uncivil. Okay? Let me show you why this is important as I lay down my premise, my basis. All right? Let's look at the legal definition. Oh, I'm in all caps. Oh, well. Of civil. We're going somewhere with this. You know how I do. Let's find a reputable source. All right. May as well go with Cornell Law. Yes, dear readers, please donate. Everybody needs a little money right now. All right. So civil. Here we go. Make sure you can see it. Hopefully you can see it good. If not, just let me know in the comment section. I can blow it up for you. We have to understand and understand, and dare I say, overstand civil before anything else, really. The civil order, the civil law, right? Civil rights. We have to know what this is about. I'll show you why that's important. Okay? So civil, it says, in reference to law, right off the bat. What do I always tell you to do? To make sure that you have the proper context in whatever it is you are considering. You have two different and distinct spheres. You should never commingle or conflate the two. I repeat, you should never, did I say sometimes? No, never conflate or commingle the two spheres. That demonstrates loudly that you are legally incompetent. It's like the same thing as, you claiming that Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, or the Boogeyman is real or are real as an adult. Other adults will look at you and be like, you believe that Santa Claus is real too? You believe that the Easter Bunny is real too? That's the equivalent of someone who commingles and conflates the artificial with the natural. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right. Laying down our premise today. All right. So with that being said, that's why whenever you're reading legal documentation, statutes, descriptions, definitions of statutes and law, they always have to put a qualifier to let you know what context. And this is no exception. Civil. It says in reference to law. That's the qualifier. This is a different realm altogether. Civil is used primarily as a descriptive term to denote conflicts between private individuals. Okay? Where in a civil case, two or more individuals or private entities, such as corporations, that's an individual or private entity, dispute their rights relative to each other, such as in a contract or a tort. A criminal case involves the government attempting on behalf of its citizens to punish a person for violating its criminal law. Okay? So, in a corporation, all right, in a corporation, the corporation can't act on its own. It needs the officers, the directors, right, the CEO to act on its behalf. Okay? So, in regards to civil matters, a civil case, two or more individuals or private entities, such as corporations, dispute their rights relative to each other, such as in a contract or a tort. Criminal case involves the government is acting on behalf of who? Its citizens. Its citizens. The government, state of versus you. Okay, so that's the government in a critical. This is civil in nature. Okay, let's see what else it gives us. I almost don't like this definition because it's being very vague, but I'm their Huckleberry. I'm gonna get you where you need to be. Civil code is the portion of federal or state statutes governing the legal relationships. Key term, relationships. What's another legal term for relation? Standing. Okay.
So the civil code is the portion of federal or state statutes governing what type of relationships. I'm trying to get you KnowledgeWellians and the guests alike. Thank you for being here. I'm really trying to drill into you that they have been qualifying the particular sphere that you should be considering in the proper context, because all of the sovereign citizen ideologies, all of the individuals trying to claim to be foreign to the United States, all of the individuals claiming that they have an unbridled right to travel because it's my natural right to do so under natural law. All of those claimants are in error because they don't realize how to separate the artificial from the natural. And that's what we're dispelling. We're dispelling those myths. We're clearing up those misrepresentations, because you're doing yourself a great disservice. You may be very intelligent, very smart, very wise even. But if you are conflating artificial with natural, and you are trying to claim natural rights in an artificial realm, then you are wholly incorrect. You are exercising erroneously. It does not work. And so I'm trying to get you, I'm not trying, I'm succeeding if you pay attention in demonstrating they always qualify. Just don't be thrown off by in reference to law, because you must make the distinction between which law they are referring to. You must know that there are two laws to consider, at least two major headings of the spheres: natural law and positive law. So let me just help. I gotta help. I know, KnowledgeWellians, you hear this all the time, but I gotta help. I gotta do the service. Okay, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. There's people that are here today that have never heard this. Look, to make the distinction between what type of law you need to be considering your rights in, they always tell you, look, in reference to law. So now you have to use rational analysis and find out which law they're referring to, natural or positive law. And in order to do that, you must look further into the reading. There's a clue: civil. Civil means contractual, by agreement. Okay, there's a clue. Let's see what else. They're talking about individuals or private entities such as corporations. Ask yourself a question: is a corporation under natural law? Is it a natural, breathing human being? All right, there's another clue. So are you starting to see how you use rational analysis to deduce, to derive at the proper context? All of you gurus, take note, because if you're sending these people off as claiming natural law rights and liberties, when you are clearly within the civil order, under the legal order, under positive law, you cannot claim individual rights then, because you are not looked at as an individual. You are seen as a member of the political community. You're not seen in law as an individual. Let me demonstrate for you, because unlike the other platforms, I'm not going to make claims and then send you out as sheep among the wolves. If I make the claim, I'm going to back up the claim in law. Where is my weapon? Where are you? Come to daddy. Ah, there you are, my little friend. Come to daddy. Yes. Yes. And see, unlike others, you'll notice I can go and pull a book off of my shelf because they actually move. They're real. And I actually put tabs in there because I actually read them. And I actually study before I come and present something to you. This is not commentary. Turn to chapter 45, verse 32, would you? No, all right, just messing around. All right, let's go to our document camera and let's demonstrate what it is I am saying to you. And let me blow up my picture so that you can clearly see. Get out of there. So that you can clearly see. Come on now. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Let us go to chapter and verse to demonstrate. I have done this before for you. I will do this again. Okay, hold on. Let me show you that. Let me back up the claim I just made. If your local guru is not doing it that way, then they are merely commentating and conjecturing. If they cannot prove it, if they cannot provide you with a legally protectable interest, then you cannot go make a claim in court based upon somebody's conjecture or how they feel about a circumstance or situation. We got to stop doing that. We can't do that. We can do that no longer. I'll put it like that. Now, let me practice what I preach. Listen, you are not, here's the claim, lest ye forget, the claim by Courtney Allen at KnowledgeWell Media is that the law cannot see you as a member of the political community, aka a system, as an individual. Therefore, you cannot rest upon, stand upon, or make a claim, an absolute claim to having individual rights to travel or the liberty, individual liberties, natural rights, God-given rights, inherent rights. You cannot make that claim as an individual, not when you are considered under the presumption of law as a citizen of a state or of the U.S. Here's the proof. One of the greatest distinctions in contemplation of law, did not I tell you, they always qualify. You just have to know and be legally competent in order to find the law that they are referring to. But they always put it in there. All right? In contemplation of law, between partnership, do you know what a partnership is? Two individuals that join together and run business, and they split, okay, by an operating agreement or otherwise, or contract, they split the responsibilities and liabilities usually and ideally 50-50. Okay, so pay attention. Watch this. In contemplation of the law, between partnerships, those are two individuals, and corporate companies. Here's the distinction, is that in the first, meaning as a partnership, the law looks to the what? Individuals of whom the partnership is composed. Who looks? It says the law as if it has eyes. The law looks to the individuals who the partnership is composed and knows, listen, and knows not the partnership no otherwise than as being such a number of individuals. Meaning, if the partnership has two members or individuals, that's how the law sees the partnership, by each individual person. If the partnership has three members, then the law sees each of the members as single, distinct, and separate persons. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Now, while in the second, now we're going to talk about the corporate companies. We're going to talk about the political communities. We're going to talk about artificial persons, aka the state. In the second, it, who are they referring? What are they saying by it? The law. It sees only the creature of the charter. What is the creature of the charter? Here it is. The body corporate. When it comes to a corporate company, the law, wait, let me qualify. A corporate company, such as your state, such as a artificial person, a company, a corporation, when it comes to that, the law only sees the creature of the charter, which is the body corporate. And look what it says, and knows not the individuals. So let me ask you a question. How are you going to stand before the law and say to the law, I'm an individual? And then they're clearly going to say to you, well, do you live in the States? Do you have minimal contact with the state? Do you have contracts with the state? Do you have a driver's license with the state? Do you have a U.S. passport or applications for a passport or a driver's license? They're using an application too, because on the application, they clearly ask you or say that you swear under perjury that all the information provided is true. So they can use an application. Don't think you're off just because you might not physically have the document, but they're going to go. They can literally go through your record from the year of the age of majority, 18 years or whatever it is in your state where you become adult, recognized by law. They could literally go through the record and see all of the applications you have submitted to the courts, or excuse me, to the courts, to the state, any administrative body. And they can literally build based on the preponderance of evidence that you have throughout your life had minimum contacts with the state in which you reside. So that's not the answer, is what I'm trying to tell you. Stop wasting your time. That's not going to work, because there's going to be a whole lot more proof against you than there is for your current assertion that you're foreign to the United States. And plus, they can look at your family lineage. They can look at where you were born, the hospital you were born in. They can look at your mother, your dad, where they were born. Huh? Because remember, the legal system, the legal order, how does it function? Presumptions of law. That means they are true until disputed. They are true until rebutted. All right. We're just dispelling myths here. That's what we do. Anyways, we still gotta get on child support. But all of this is leading up to it. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. All right. So, anyways, the point is that in the eyes of the law, which law are we talking about? When we're talking about corporations, artificial persons, can't be natural law. Therefore, we know we are under positive law. Positive law are what? Enactments of a duly authorized legislature, aka statutes. You may know them as codes too, ordinances, whatever. But for the most part, it says statutes. That's what positive law is. I always want to say are. That's what positive law are. It just seems right, but it's not. All right. So anyways, the point is, you cannot make individual claims not under the recognition of citizenship or being a member of the political community or a U.S. citizen. You cannot do it. Bring any of your champions that want to try to discredit the statement that I made, and I will put down no less than 5 good case law to prove what I just said. I'm not going to make time to do it right now. I've already demonstrated that case I just showed you here in the Treatise of the Law of Private Corporations aggregate by Joseph K. Engel, 1861. This is what I just read from in the notes section of page 31. And it's taught, and it says, as per Tillman C.J. in Myers versus Irwin, 2S and R 731, Herger v. They list a number of case citations. Okay, so that's on my side as well. So bring your champion, whomever. I don't care. You got 50,000, 60,000 views, because I bet you can't demonstrate law that will oppose what I'm saying. You might not agree with it, as I had somebody recently tell me on a phone call. I'm walking the law to them and showing them in the law that they are incorrect. And guess what? I just I don't agree with that. Okay, well, then we ain't got really much to talk about. Really, that's how whatever. So anyways, it is what it is. The truth makes you free. If you don't want to be free, then evade and avoid the truth. I particularly, and a lot of you KnowledgeWellians here, want to be free. That's all there is to it. So with that being said, let us go forth. And the point is that you cannot make those claims. You cannot make individual claims. Is the right to travel an individual claim? Absolutely. So you can't make that claim because the law, once again, positive law, when it looks down upon the membership, the corporation, the political community, the jural society, a whole lot of names, titles, right? It can only see the creature of the charter. That's it. It does not see the individuals that the charter, that the creature is composed of. It only sees the whole ball, the body. Okay? It's like, I'm trying to drive it home. It's like this. If a cadaver or a body, living or dead, whatever, was laying on a slab, okay? My eyes represent the law looking at the body. As long as the body is jointed together and it's not sliced open and whatever, it's just a body naked, right? Sitting there on a slab. I can't see the mechanisms inside. I don't see what's going on, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments all working, like pulling on the arm. You don't see that. That's how the law sees the membership, the state, only the body. That's why when the state or when they bring an action against you, as it said, under criminal law, it says the whole state as a body versus you. Because in the eyes of positive law, the law can only see the whole membership. Whereas when it comes to a partnership, which is composed, look up what, here, we'll do it. I'll do the homework for you. Legal definition of, see, we want to prove everything. I promised you that, and that's what you're going to get here. That's the teaching style you're going to get here at KnowledgeWell Media. Legal definition of partnership. Let's share. Coming at you. What's a partnership? Again, let the word be true and every man a liar. How about we say that? Watch this. A partnership is defined legally. Are you starting to see? They always have qualified it. We just didn't have eyes to see it. They always tell you which sphere, which law you should be considering. So if it's legal, it's under positive law. Therefore, not under natural law. So you should not be looking at this definition that they're going to give you as applying to you as a natural human being. Easy, ain't it? Look, a partnership is defined legally as, look, an association of two or more persons who operate as, look, co-owners. That means you're an owner and I'm an owner. Don't be trying to act like you more powerful than me unless I agree that you got 60% of the company and I got 40. But that means you got 60% more, you got 60% liability, right? And I only have 40%. That's how a partnership works. Okay? Like I said, again, ideally, or most times than not, probably if it's two people, they share 50-50 partnership. But in the eyes of the law, they are both owners. They're called co-owners. And they share the profits. Because I put in 50%, you put in 50%. Therefore, my return is going to be equal to and equitable with the amount that I put into this company. Are you picking up what I put down? This is how partnerships are seen in the eyes of the law as individuals. Directly opposed with a corporation, where again, the law sees the whole lump, one body. All right. So this is why, okay, to become a partner, an individual, you hear how they keep talking about individual when you're considering a partnership. Individual. Huh? So again, when it comes to constitutional rights, I'm going to do you a favor here. You are laying claim to your individual liberties, your individual rights, natural inherent rights. Oh, government, you have injured me individually, so I'm going to sue you in federal court or whatever, right? Yeah, individually. So are we talking about membership? Are we talking about citizenship? Are we talking? No. Are we talking about being part of the political community as a member? No. Because that is a type of corporate entity. You cannot make individual claims to travel, to do whatever an individual may do under their natural and inherent rights. All right, let's move on. We got a lot to cover. I hope that's hitting home. That's too easy. Too easy. Let me look at the comment section. I'm getting behind here. Started preaching early. All God says, upon signing the legal paperwork in the public hospital, are we as parents, untitled or entitled, to receive some disclosures as to what legal? All right, you cut off on your statement or your question. I think that's a question. Where you go? Get back home. Get on back in there. Get on back in there. Upon signing the legal document, y'all got me hot up in there already. Woo! I got to settle down. Everybody take a breath. Goodness gracious. Upon signing the legal paperwork in the public hospital, okay, I'm glad that you recognize that it is legal paperwork, so we know what law we're going to be under. So don't come in here claiming natural law rights. All guys. All guys. Is it popping and cracking, y'all? Let me know how the sound is. I want it to sound really good and professional for you. I get excited. You know what I mean? I get excited. I get to talking loud. All guys, your answer to your question is in your question. You termed it correctly. You said upon signing the legal paperwork in the public hospital. You put two qualifying terms in there that directly tell you which law you are under. You're not going to be under natural law in that from that context. You just put the terms in there: legal paperwork, public hospitals. And then your question, are we as parents? Did you know that parent is a legal term? I give the analogy. If you were born in a hospital, let's rewind that. If you were born in the middle of the woods, okay, and you lived out there with your baby and the baby grew for years and decades and you're all just living out there in the middle of nowhere, you're not going to be calling yourself the parent of the child. And nor is your child going to be calling you parent, help me. No, that's not going to happen. What are they going to be calling you? Mom, dad, mother, father. Parent is a legal terminology, a creature or creation of state. That is not a natural designation. What'd you say? Prove it? Okay. All right, let's go. Y'all don't challenge me today. I am hot, but I am not weary. Watch this. I'll prove it to you. Prove it to you. I know there's something going around. Y'all coughing too? We got to start getting back on our game. Let me prove it to you. Everything I say, I got to prove it. Y'all make me work harder than the rest of these gurus. It ain't fair. It's not equitable. I'm just playing with you. Here we go. I'll prove it for you all, guys. Here you go. What does it say? Here's the parent. We're looking at the etymology, online etymology. This tells you where the words derived from initially. Don't worry. We're going to get to our topic of child support, whose property you holding. I guess that's going to be like the grand finale, you know, when you're out there watching the fireworks, you know, it's going to be a rapid fire. Boom, 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 just hit it. Bah, 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 bah. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. You know how we do here. We're going to end up just how we're supposed to. Watch this. All right. Uh-oh. I know somebody's going to say, he's throwing up the Illuminati. I did not do it. Oh, God. I got, you know where I got that from? I think I got that. Everybody teased me about sounding like Obama. And that's how, you know, the presidents, that's how they point. Because they don't want to be doing this, right? So they do this. Come on, give me a break. I am not, okay, whatever. Whatever. Here we go. But I know down the line, somebody's going to say something like that. They do it all the time. Yeah. So anyways, early 15th century. All right, so this is where the term came from, the terminology. Early 15th century, late 12th century as a surname. Uh-oh. Look, a mother or father or forebear, ancestor from Old French parent, father, parent, from. See, which one came first? Mother, father, or parent? Watch. Relative, kin, and directly from late. Okay, so here's where we get down to the nuts and bolts, as it were, right? Parentum. That's the Latin, okay? Those ancient languages that, Nominative parents, meaning father or mother, ancestor. I got to settle down. Wusa. Noun, use of present participle of parir or something like that. Look, it just bring forth, give birth to, right? Give birth to. Produce, from Proto-Indo-European root pere, to produce, bring forth. That's all they're saying. It's a legal term that they created. How do we know that? Well, it basically started around, 15th century, from the surname in the 12th century. That's what they used to say. All right. So it's relatively new. This is created, man-made, under the legal order, like most things. Okay. So there's a bit of evidence there. Now, what I want to do further, all right, just to drive it on home, let's look at the legal definition of parent. Watch this. Okay. So right here at Cornell Law, we might as well run with it. The term parent includes, look, a legal guardian. See, that's when you know that you're under positive law as opposed to natural law. Natural law doesn't change. It just doesn't. It doesn't change. Okay, that's why they call it God's law, constant, persistent, omnipotent, omnipresent. It doesn't change. It stays the same. Okay, whereas man-made law, positive law, statutes, codes, ordinances, rules, etc., change all the time. 10 years ago, you could only go 50 on the freeway. Now you're going 65 and 70. That's because it's man-made. It's the king sets the law. He says, I don't want you going that fast because I need to protect my citizens because I don't want my children to hurt themselves. I need you to wear your seatbelt. That's a new law I just put out there. Yep, I know. You used to ride around the big body Oldsmobiles without seatbelts. The kids were jumping from bench seat to bench seat, and nobody got pulled over by the police. They didn't even care. Car seat? What? Man, you better. I'm saying, my point is, statute versus natural law. Okay? Man, king, makes laws that change consistently. That's the point. So here is no different. The term, it's a term. Parent means or includes a legal guardian. See? A guardian appointed by the state, appointed by the court, not under natural law. Because natural law says that the father or mother are the ones that created the baby. That's natural law. But see, under positive law, man-made law, we could strip the natural father or mother of their title, of their capacity, and simply transfer that capacity over to a perfect stranger. I dub you the legal guardian. Right? You see it in movies all the time. The king, I dub thee a knight, I dub thee this. All he's doing is giving titles away. And now they can go on and brag to everybody else. I got a title. That's man-made law. That's positive law. That's what statutes do. Leading right into our topic. Child support. Whose property you holding? Oh, it gets greater later. I'm just waiting for all those those, what do they call them, simps, all those people that are here to steal. They don't want to contribute. They don't want to support. They just want to come and get a little bit of something, take it back to their nest and, feed their flock. So we'll just wait for them to trickle off. I'm watching the numbers. They'll just slowly go down. And then, the creme de la creme, those KnowledgeWellians who have supported me from the very beginning. I got you. So anyways, the term parent includes a legal guardian. This is a guardian that is appointed by the government or other person standing in, local parentis, such as a grandparent or step-parent with whom the child lives, or a person who is legally, I told you, they always qualify the context, the proper context that you should be considering. Now you're seeing it, right? You're going to be reading. Every time you read now, you're going to be, legal, natural, that means I'm doing my job. You're welcome. All right. Or a person who is legally, that means appointed by the court, by the law, positive law, statute, responsible for the child's welfare. All right. I love that. I think that's a great segue right into our topic. Let me catch up on the, what I set out to prove, and I believe I did, is that parent, the designation of a parent, is a legal title. For it just said, under the legal definition of parent, that this title goes to someone who is court appointed by the law, statutes, codes, ordinances, not natural law. Okay? And so going back to all gods, to wrap up that his question, it says, upon signing the legal paperwork in the public hospital, are we as parents I think you're saying entitled to receive some disclosures as to what legal, and you did not finish that. I feel like you need to finish that. I'll look down in the line here to see if you finish it. As to what legal. Okay. But to answer the question, in accordance with the facts I just laid out for you, see how those numbers trickle down? Ooh, gotcha. Good riddance. Are we as parents entitled to receive some disclosure? It's an iffy subject. Why? Because you may not you specifically, but generally, you may not even realize that it has been disclosed to you. Because most of us didn't even realize that this was contractual in nature. Most of us didn't realize the difference, the distinction between the legal order and the natural order. We grew up thinking that everything was cool. Like, I'm a human being, man. Who can hurt me? Can't nobody do nothing. Government, you stay over there and I'm stay over here. We weren't even cognizant of the switcheroo. Yeah, from the Republican form of government to the democracy that you now enjoy. You had no idea it even happened. So, to answer your question once again, are you entitled to receive some disclosure? Yeah, but number one, as a parent, that is a legal designation. That is what is called a domestic title. That means it is a title that you got being domesticated within the state. And if it is a title that is received from the state, then therefore it is a grant or a gift from the state. If you take a benefit from the state, you owe a subsequent obligation and a duty. Can I get an amen and a hallelujah? So, do you have a right to some disclosure? You got a little right, but you ain't got much. Remember, you must make the distinction between natural order as opposed to and distinguishable from the legal order under positive law. You don't have the same individual rights that you had under the natural law under this, under the legal order, under positive law. All right. Hopefully you will finish that question. But yes, you do have some right to disclosure. But again, if you don't even recognize the distinction between the laws and the spheres, you probably don't even realize that you did get disclosure. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right. Hey, can you power me back up, y'all? I'm deflating a little bit. I need them 777s and I'll get stronger again. Okay. All right. All guys, requirements we are agreeing to. Okay, is that the rest of the question? Let's see. Are we as parents entitled to receive some disclosures as to what legal requirements we are agreeing to? Well, again, under the citizenship, as a member of the political community, there are policies known as statutes and rules and ordinances that are already in existence. Now, you're joining into a state, a municipality that's already operating before you were born. Therefore, they already have laws on the books. They already have titles, domestic titles that set your status. So you're born into it. You feel what I'm saying? So you just because you're born, we all like to think we're the Christ, born in the manger, and the stars come out and the angels are singing glory, hallelujah. We all want to believe that, but you're just one of 3 million, or wherever size your state, or I mean not state, but you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe state. I don't know. You're just one, okay? And they're saying that the day you were born, you were joined into the lump. And again, the law can't see you individually as a citizen. It has to see the whole body, state of, okay? Now, we can teach you how to claim your individual rights the proper way. We can teach you that. But you should get a private consultation with us, okay? All right, so moving on. I think I gave all guys about a half hour of show. I love you, man. I love you, man. I believe all man. All gods is a man. I don't know. See, y'all be setting me up. Y'all set me up because y'all using these moniker or whatever they're called, and I don't get to see what gender or if it even matters. Hopefully, I ain't offending nobody. I don't get to see. So when I be like, you know. So, anyways, all gods. He's back again. She's back again. They're back again. I don't know. What then is the legal argument to be made if not given disclosure? That is the argument. If you feel like you have not been properly made aware or given proper disclosure, a lot of state statutes require disclosure, especially before entering into a contract. I'm actually working on a case right now about dealing with that same thing, and I was able to find in the state statute that, you know, before you induce someone into a land contract or whatever, that you have to provide them the consideration. They have to, in other words, you can't just lure somebody in, which is what inducement is, luring somebody in to buy your property, and you already had knowledge that the land is contaminated. You cannot do that. It's unethical. And the government's job is there to protect its citizens against people who participate in unscrupulous activities like that. You know what I'm saying? So the government's doing its job. And so in state statute, the legislative body, as part of doing its job to protect the people, have written a law that says you must disclose if you have previous knowledge that the land is contaminated. That's the way the law works. They're doing it to protect their citizens. Okay. And so, yes, you have a right to disclosure. All right. But again, do you recognize the disclosure when it is disclosed? You have to know whether you're under positive law or natural law. They are not one and the same. Also, when signing to agree to paternity, are we not to be given disclosures? Yes, but they're going to argue what? That they did. They're going to argue, did you not read the document that was put before you? The paternity acknowledgement. They're going to argue that. Okay. So that's not going to be an easy argument to defeat. Now we're going to be talking in a little bit. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit to help you out. Okay. Because it's not necessarily about that. All right. Just stick in there. I got you. King Tovey amongst a motion to dismiss backed up with case law in a child support case where one is not a citizen should be enough to get them to stop harassing me. Oh, that's in the question form. All right. So what's the motion to dismiss based upon? Okay. In a child support case where one is not a citizen. Again, you have to ask yourself a question, because citizens, okay, minimal contacts dealing in U.S. based and sourced income, having residence, and having an intent to return to that residence, right? Where your mom and dad were born, or one of the other, could have some bearing on as to whether or not you are a citizen. But remember, the legal system, the order works in this way, that it is assumed thus until that assumption is disproved or successfully rebutted. If you never get an order from the court going to your assertion of citizenship, you can write all the paperwork, all the so-called affidavits you want and send them to the various agencies of state. You ain't going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. Because why? If the executive departments or the administrative departments under the executive department of state or government, whatever, if they make a ruling, listen, hear me. This is where the problem is, y'all. If they were to make a ruling and a determination of your citizenship or your status, that would be a violation of the separation of powers, and they would be subject to liable and subject to action against them. Not only under state law, but under federal as well. Why? You cannot violate the separation of powers. That's why when you submit affidavits going to your status or going to your citizenship, you get no action or no movement. And let me go a step further and piss some other people off, including some gurus. What do you think the U.S. passport application, known as the DS-11 form, what department created that? Is that under the, let me help you out. And then you can go bye-bye, because I know you're going to be upset. I see. Look, what department of the government, what branch of the government created the DS-11 form? Yep, executive department. Therefore, they, as that department, cannot make a judicial determination about your status. So all the people that are submitting this so-called remedy, DS-11 form, to so-called correct your status was determined already prior to, at your birth. You cannot just wake up 30 years later and say, I'm foreign to the United States. Why? Because that determination would have to be made by court order and judgment under the judicial branch of the United States, not under the executive branch. If the executive branch, once again, makes that determination, holding, and judgment, they are in violation of the separation of powers, and therefore they are suable, actionable, whatever. That's why you can't not do it that way. And that goes for any branch. That goes for any department of state or federal government. Your mere affidavit does not do the trick. Affidavits are to establish a prima facie case. They take it for face value because it says you swear under threat of perjury. It just builds a prima facie case. That's why you can't just write an affidavit and submit it into a court case and they got to throw it out. Oh, there's an affidavit and it's notarized. He's right. Throw it away. Doesn't work like that, does it? Because it's only to build a prima facie case. It's just an assumption and a presumption. It builds upon, it's called preponderance of evidence. You can't just submit one thing, and that changes the game. Ladies, gentlemen, he's knocked it out of the park with a single affidavit. How do we know that? Because it's notarized. No, it don't work like that. Anyways, forget about it. So, so I got to answer your question, don't I? A motion to dismiss backed up with case law in a child support case where one is not a citizen. King Toby, we're all citizens. I know. We've been disenfranchised through disinformation, but if we live here in the United States, if we participate with U.S.-based income or U.S.-sourced income, if you return home back and forth, I don't care if you go out of the country, but if you intend to come back, and that's why they ask you, are you here on business? Are you, when will you return? They're setting up the preponderance of evidence that will defeat any presumption that you are foreign to this. That's what's happening. Okay, you cannot get away from that. The only way, again, is to have a judicial order or judgment in your favor, that recognizes the status change or the expatriation. That's why they make you swear. Who do you think's taking your oath when you go for expatriation? Probably a law judge or a commissioner, someone that can act on behalf of the judiciary body or that branch, because that's going to become a court binding, a legally binding court order, a judgment. Executive department does not have the power under the Constitution to do it. So stop submitting the affidavits to the departments of state, departments of government, whatever, until you get a court order. Ain't none moving, because that's the job of the judiciary. Okay. All right, I got to move on. Okay, all guys, driving. Okay, what about driving? Driving, yes, you can say it's a commercial term, it's a legal term, et cetera, et cetera. You can make all those arguments. Again, the law has already been written about the movement of a motorized vehicle, or whatever you want to call it, a conveyance, whatever you want to call it. The law is already set. It's already been determined. So our little arguments today, you are not more powerful than the legislative body to change the law. You're just not. It's not going to happen. Okay? The right to travel is the same thing in their eyes as driving. Remember, they're looking from the eyes of the law. When the law looks at members of the political community, people that live within the state and that intend to return, that have minimum contacts, et cetera, from the eyes of the law, remember, it cannot see the individual. It has to look at the corporate whole body as one. So you can argue it all you want to. It's not going to work. Okay? It's not going to work. Bishop Macbone is in the house. KnowledgeWell Media, peace and many blessings of Amun-Ra, okay, the sun god. The sun be upon you. Sunday is Amun-Ra Day. Thank you very much. I accept that from the most sincere and positive perspective possible. Appreciate it. Bishop Macbone, thanks for the discussion of this topic, brother. Absolutely. Bishop Macbone says, so the first political party in U.S. history is the Republicans because according to the Constitution, America is originally a republic. Okay. All right. I will do a show on politics, the Republican and Democratic Party. I will do that. Not today, but I will do that. I think liberalism comes from the natural law of stupidity. All right. All God said thanks. Absolutely. All God says, it's Ray. You are right. It's Ray. You know what? My bad. I forgot you did tell me that. I be going 100 miles per hour. But yeah, okay. I got you. All gods. All right, Bishop Macbone. When a woman gets custody of the child and child support, she is legally obligated to make sure that support goes totally to the care of the children. In a sort of way. But, in theory, if she has placement of the child, custody of the child, placement of the child, there's bills and things like that. So I get what you're saying, but some of that money will go towards, if she likes Fruit Loops, more than likely she's going to go buy Fruit Loops and your child is just going to eat some of those Fruit Loops, but it could be her liking. You see what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, though. Generally, yes. Bishop McBone, paternity disclosure should be under the contracts and trusts of the legal order. And it is. I'll make a showing. All right. Yeah, we got to get on that because we're okay. All God says paternal parents. We are saying we are the paternal parents. I assign the legal responsibility. I assign to the legal responsibility. Then we should be giving clear disclosure, not yada yada yada. Now sign. All right. We're going to cover that in a moment. How does the realm of the natural order and the legal order affect the status of child support law? We're going to cover that too. All God says 777 dropping knowledge per usual. Awesome. Awesome. Come on. I need more 777s. Don't forget to drop a like. Everybody, please take a moment if you haven't done so already. And you right there, you, hey, you. Yeah, no, you. I saw you sneaking in the back room. Hit that like button for me real quick. One time. I know that finger is freaking heavy. Pick it up. Use the other hand. Pick it up and just go right to the, there you go. Thank you. All right. All God says, I was driving. Oh, you're driving right now. Okay. All right. So now this next hour here, I'm gonna try to wrap this up quickly. So let's get on the topic at hand, child support. So we laid down a basis and a premise discussing the fact that the parent itself as a term is a legal term, therefore under the legal order, under positive law, state statutes, man-made law. Okay. All right. So that puts you in the proper perspective, or it gives you the proper perspective, puts you in the proper context and under the right sphere. So we're going to be discussing the jural sphere. So guess what? All you natural law specialists, go to that side of the room. All right. So we're going to talk about the legal order. Don't bring natural law considerations, arguments, and all that kind of stuff into today's discussion, because we are in the legal order discussing child support. There's no child support under natural law because it's naturally assumed that you're going to take care of your children. See how that works? All right, so let's get going. Bishop McBone, some of that money will go towards weaves, yep, nail salons, yep, and fast food restaurants as well as junk food, yep. Bishop all guys, do you recommend going to the hospital with our own paperwork and contracts? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm going to show you why is it not going to work. It's not going to work because of the fact that those hospitals are under contract, as it were. They are known as artificial persons, creatures of state. They have a charter from the state. They wouldn't be able to operate in the state if they didn't license with the state. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Therefore, if you bring in strange documentation, right, to that legal establishment, they're going to be like, what are we supposed to do with this? No, we have a state law mandate. Look in the state statute. It's telling the hospitals what to do, how to do it, when to do it, how to file it, who it goes to. So you can't come and interrupt. It's called a system for a reason. Okay. If you throw something foreign into your body's system, the body will attack it, kill it, get rid of it, or at least attempt to. Okay. Then you'll get a fever. So it looks like your body's fighting you because you got a fever. You're hot, you're sweating, you're feeling miserable. But no, it's just the forces of the system working internally to fight the foreign matter. Don't make the system perceive or see you as foreign matter, because if the system comes after you, it ain't going to be pretty. All right. So no, you don't bring your own documentation. Then I'm going to tell you what you have to do or what you should do. Educational purposes only. Okay. No, the answer was never and will never be to introduce your foreign documentations, claims, assertions, beliefs into a extant and pre-existing system. Nature teaches you that foreign matters introduced to a natural system will cause a war, and the body and natural law will win. You want to know how powerful this consideration is? I know, I'm going off on a tangent, but I love you. You want to know how powerful this is? Let me give you a different perspective of what's happening inside of your body. Okay. Even upon death, you think the consideration is how big you are or how big something is. You think that that is a demonstration of power. But let me show you something. Let me demonstrate something for you. Let's go to the whiteboard. I feel like just talking for a moment. Remember this? We did this already. I would leave it up there, but I got to give you this demonstration. All right. We get all value, all truth here. Okay. So I got to give you this demonstration. Let me put us on in the right mindset. We need this consideration. We are taught that the bigger something is, the better. Okay. I got to go off on this. Look, this is what we're taught. That this is insignificant, infinitesimal, right? It's nothing. And we're taught that this, oh, that's powerful. Let me show you why that's wrong. This is your body. Okay? This is what everybody sees. Wow, and you're 6'8", and you're, whatever, 7 foot. So you are powerful. This is how we're taught to think, right? But what makes up that body? What keeps that body alive? That which is within. Huh? Now, there are things such as muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones, organs inside of this body that you think is, wow, you're 7 foot, or muscular, wow, you are something else. None of that exists if the inside is rotten, is poisoned, unhealthy, right? Now, even in considering the muscles, the organs, and blah, 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 right? Do you not know that there are things inside of those organs, inside of those muscles, inside of those tissues to keep them alive? Now, consider this. Cells and all that. Consider this. Are cells alive? What keeps cells alive? You want me to keep going? Huh? So it takes something within, and infinitesimal. Keep going. Because we don't even know how small it really gets. Ant-Man the movie is a perfect demonstration. Where's the true power? It's that which is within, that which is within, that which is within. That's where the true power is. It's not how big something is. Cancer will do evil things to this body. Eat it from within. Who really is king? You think you're the top of the food chain? Right now, you could perhaps have, God forbid, have something inside eating you and not even know it. All right, let's get back. We got to really get that consideration. Is it how big you are that determines how powerful you are? When you can be eaten from within by something that you can't even see with the eye. I'm just saying. Yeah, whatever. All right, so let's end up with this. We got to get on. All of this is relative. Relevant. So let's see here. Do you recommend going to the hospital with our own paperwork and contracts? No. It is a system. Okay. It is foreign. You are considered foreign. If you are considered foreign, you must go. You must come through or become a member or part of the society the legal way. Yes, the way that is established by man law, positive law. Yes, that's because we want things to be civil. That's how we started the show. Do you recall and remember? Here it is. Now we're coming full circle. We're going to keep everything relevant. What is civil? In reference to law, civil is used primarily as a descriptive term to denote conflicts between private individuals where in a civil case, two or more individuals or private entities, such as corporations, dispute their rights. This is all within a closed system. The civil law, okay? The civitas, made up of memberships, or of members. It's a closed system, okay? Nation states, foreign to each other. That's what you're part of. And so you absolutely must remain civil. No, you don't bring your own documents and whatever. They already have things within the legal order that they use, okay? So no, that's not the answer. We'll discuss in a moment. Even at times when I don't have time to see particular videos, I still give them likes. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Facts. All right, Bishop McBone. True documentation must match the legal order of the state. Yes, because they don't have to recognize anything else. Remember, if the administrative executive departments or any of these corporations of state allow foreign documentation in, make a determination themselves of the law, then it is a violation of the separation of powers, because the judicial branch is the only one tasked with that, given that power, that delegation of authority under the Constitution to make the determination, to do analysis on the enactments of state, the positive laws, state statute. You cannot introduce foreign matter into an existing legal order system. The more sovereign citizen myth is a viral invader to the positive legal order, artificial body system. I mean, they call it a body juris, meaning it is a legal body. It's a body, a system. You can't put foreign matter into a system. If you don't take anything else away from here, take that. All right, we got to get to this child support. Just putting it out there to be debunked, LOL. And thanks. Disinformation is out here and for sale. It absolutely is. But you don't have to worry about that any longer because Captain is here to save the day. All right, Captain KnowledgeWell. Should we make somebody draw me a Captain KnowledgeWell and I'll put it up. How about that? Cash me outside. Where did she go? Never mind. I don't want to know. Patreon is well worth the hours of knowledge. All right. Yeah. Come on over and join us at Patreon for that exclusive membership. All gods. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. Let's get to this child support thing so we can end up here. This is ready. This is what they call the grand finale. We're just going to bring it all together. You ready? Making all these transformer noises. Ready? Let me get a drink of water. So, the real consideration. What is the real consideration? Who are we fighting? Whoever has child support issues, whatever. Who are you really up against? Who's your enemy? If you answer that question, you don't get it. All right. First of all, the child support system was established. Why? Well, somebody's got to take care of children, especially under bastardy. They called it bastard. I haven't heard that term in a long time. Bastardy, bastard, right? That's a fatherless child. So the responsibility would go upon the government, right? Or the community, right? So what did the community say? Well, we got our own stuff to really worry about. However, we do care about the plight, the future of these children that are growing up in orphanages. Remember Little Orphan Annie and all that kind of stuff? Orphan. But we do care, so we need to do something about it. So the community got together and formed a particular, or allowed the government, or formed the government, and then allowed the government to set up agencies, right? That would be tasked specifically with dealing with the issue of fatherless children. Because you might have seen in movies, The Godfather and what have you, you see the children, vagabond, I don't know if vagabond is correct, but they were misfits. And they would basically go around, they would be robbing people, stealing stuff, breaking stuff, and just doing stuff, not in school, not being educated, whatever. And so they would grow up in the juvenile system. They would grow up in and out of jail. Recidivism would be an issue and what have you. All right. So to deal with these situations, they came up with things like child support and whatever. okay, or those type of systems on the family law, juvenile law, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's a very dumbed down version of, I could go into it, but for the sake of time, all right, we're not going to do that for right now. But now, when it comes to child support in your situation, okay, I could talk from experience, right? From being in the hospital, okay? First of all, civility was important, okay? Civil. And I should have kept up the, hold on. Being civil or having a civil order to things so that things would flow in a cohesive manner, okay? So they just, again, established these agencies. Things need to flow. The system has to flow. What happens when your joints start breaking down? Because things aren't fluid anymore. You're getting old, your age, you start losing the cartilage and the fluids and things that keep the joints oiled and, well oiled and moving good. So that's what happens when the system breaks down because it's not well oiled, the mechanisms and all get all funked up. Okay. Then you got arthritis. Hurts to move. You hear your joints cracking and popping. Pop, lock, and drop it. Yeah, I'm getting silly. You know what time it is. So anyways, that's what happens. So that's why man created civil, okay, laws and what have you, statutes, civil, under the civil nature, civil law, to keep things well oiled. You should not be, okay, let me put it to you like this. You ever watch National Geographics? You ever see the animals, how they act? That would be uncivilized. To demonstrate, I need to make a demonstration. Put your children away for a minute, cover their ears. Okay, just for a minute. I'll give you a few seconds. Are you ready? Okay, make sure there ain't no children here for a moment, just for a moment. Okay, so check it out. So imagine being in nature. You see what happens to the female lioness, and the male lions. I mean, or, you see the animals, they go crazy, right? It seems like they're going crazy. I mean, yeah, respectfully, that's in nature. That's how they function. That's what they do. But would you want to participate like that, ladies? Just bite you on the back of the neck and get to going to town on you? We don't do that. That's the difference between civility or having a civil realm as opposed to if we just had a natural realm, a natural law realm. Do you really want to see everybody like just some people come out naked and everybody? You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. Civil versus uncivilized. Okay. How would you like it if you're out to eat and there's people acting uncivilized in front of your family and children? You're out to have a nice dinner or whatever. And there's uncivilized individuals there who don't know how to eat, whatever. And they're just throwing food and walking up and using their teeth to bite it out of the banquet setup and all, just uncivilized, dirty, nails dirty, hands dirty, hair, and they're just sweating and, uncivilized. All right. So my point is, you can come back, children. The point is this is why men thought it'd be great to have civil order, right? So that there's some kind of laws and etiquette, morals, social norms that we all follow. That's called civil, okay? And so with that being said, okay, so I lost my original point, but getting back to it. All right, so child support, okay? Civil in nature, okay? It's an agreement. It's the man and the woman, you have a child together. Now let's say you're not married. So the system said, we can't just have all these fatherless children, they're not married. You can't just make children and then just disappear and leave the woman to raise 5 children by themselves. Because I just make children. I don't raise them. You know what I'm saying? So that in the eyes of the system, we're not talking about natural order. We're talking about man trying to create a civil order, okay? So that our societies just don't look chaotic. Little nappy-head children running around everywhere, snotty nose, no father, mom trying to keep them all together, can't do it, or trying to. That's what they were trying. We didn't want our society. We wanted to take pride in our society, in our societies. You know, each of the nation states. We look like we have it together a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, so it starts with that agreement, that civil agreement between the two partners, especially if you're not married, right? The two partners whom the law sees as individuals. It can't see them as one unit, like a corporate unit, because they are not civilly united. What is a civil union known as? A marriage. So it's an institution under the civil order. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's what marriage is. I know we're all like, you know, I'm going to rescind this contract of marriage because I don't need blah, 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 blah. Been there, done that. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Okay, we have to learn how to play this game. So with that being said, the civil union is marriage. That's when the law will see the two as one. But in this case, from this perspective, in this case, we're talking about two unmarried individuals. That's where child support really kicks in, right? Even if you divorce or separate, okay? But that's because the civil union or civil order is trying to keep things civilized. And so they get involved in those things. And remember, this is under the legal order. We've already left the natural realm. So this is, now, if you find yourself as part of this civil order under positive law, under the legal sphere, jural sphere, then it's assumed and presumed under a positive law that you are a member. And so that's why, as I forget who said, when they bring those documentations into the room, you've already signed a contract with the hospital that you're agreeing to pay the bill, that you agree to them delivering your child and to care for your child. And if this happens, they get to do this. You've already agreed to that. It starts with that in administration of the hospital. Remember, that hospital is a legal entity with the state. It has a charter to exist from the state or to transact business in the state. So they have to abide by the state statutes. Now you're coming into that hospital who is regulated by state statute, and you're about to have your baby, and they make you sign administrative documents as to whether you agree to treatment. Not only that, but after the baby is born, then they come in with their legal documents. We're still consistent. We're still under the jural sphere. We're still under the legal order. We're still not under natural law. I know you believe you are because, you know, little lady just pushed out a bowling ball. I get it. You think that this is all natural law, but alas, it is not. You have to know the difference between natural law and positive law, the jural sphere and moral sphere. It's not what it appears. It's more than what meets the eye, like the transformer adage goes. You just have to know that, though. That's called being legally competent. That's what it's called. You have to be perceived and you have to be determined to be legally competent, meaning knowing the difference between natural law and positive law. Okay, so to make, let me just say this, to make an argument for natural law rights while in consideration of the legal order under positive law, the courts are going to say, you clearly don't get this, do you? Prosecutor, district attorney, state, whatever, I think it'd be fitting that we send Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so out for a competency evaluation before we proceed with this matter. Because I cannot in good consciousness or in good faith proceed with these actions until we determine whether or not Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so can represent her or his own interest. You might want to get an attorney, because the vein down which you are traveling is a very slippery slope, and you're going to do some damage to yourself. We're just telling you. That's what's going on. All right. So with that being said, now they bring in the legal documentation into the room. Okay. And they can't give you legal advice. Look at, even the advice is considered legal. See how everything, it was always put in its proper context. We were just outside of it. We did not understand what was going on. They can't provide you legal advice. You have to get an attorney. And so they're just bringing you the documentation as per the statute that they're obeying as members first and as employees of the hospital secondly. Can't blame them. They're just doing their job, acting in a capacity. They're not held individually responsible. Why? Because they're under the corporate protection. They have limited liability protection. That's why. And so they bring you those documents, you get those documents, and you fill those documents out, whether ignorantly or whatever. You still fill them out, right? And so that is a presumption. You create a presumption of law that you understand what it is you are signing. Because guess what you could have done, and what the judge is going to say? Well, why didn't you get legal counsel to represent you? Or why didn't you hire an attorney if you really want to know what this document is saying? And you're concerned about disclosure, you don't have an attorney on retainer that can help you out with that? Okay, well, you can't afford it. Okay, so that's why the states, the county especially, affords you what are called legal clinics and community centers. You didn't consider that, did you? Yeah. See, they're covering their bases. They're doing what they're supposed to do in accordance with their delegation of authority as a government office. They've covered their bases. You can go and get legal aid assistance and help. You can get it for free. Right probably in your county courthouse on the bottom floor. They usually put it, ours is in the basement. You can go right down there and they have students and aides and all that kind of stuff, copy machines. They even got a full arsenal of all the state statute books, legal books, and all that kind of stuff down there. Have you been there? Okay. This is why. So you cannot say that you can't not get legal assistance, and you cannot really make the claim that you can't afford it. In criminal matters, if you need an attorney, one can be provided for you. You just have to show that you are indigent, and they will do it. Now, that doesn't necessarily work in civil matters when you go to sue somebody under a civil matter, a contractual matter, or what have you, or agreement. There, you have to retain or get your own attorney. But what I'm saying is, they got legal aid, help, and assistance in your state, in your county that you live in. They have to provide you that. Did you know that? Try it out. You'll see. Free. Go down there. You can be in there from the sun up to sundown and have unlimited access. Yep. Yep. That's what it is. So when you're talking about disclosure, did you do your due diligence? Did you seek out assistance and help that is available? They got community clinics, nonprofit organizations that do this stuff. You could even contact private attorneys and ask them to do pro bono work. They do it all the time. It's part of their ethics and all that kind of stuff. They have to provide so many hours or something of pro bono work, I believe it is. Check it out. You'll see what I'm saying. But anyways, so yes, not only does the documentation that they give you have some things on there, but I'm gonna show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. We got to get going. We're going to be getting off here, so we'll do a part 2 on this. If you're interested in this, there are some things to disclose here that I do want to help you out with, but not everybody deserves this information. Not everybody does. But I am open for consultations. Where is that at? I'll show you something. I might have it in my bag. What I'm attempting to show you is a document that I got from the State Vital Statistics. Now, this document is not available generally. They won't just give it to you. Literally, it told me you must request it. They're not going to give it to you otherwise. When I got this document, it outlined the birthing process, the documentations, and different things, what these things really are. But see, they won't just give it to you. The way that this capitalist system works, I've covered this last week, it's dog eat dog. They just look at it like ignorance of the law is of no excuse. You have no excuse here. This is a capitalist system. If you didn't do your due diligence, somebody will walk over you and they will get it. That which you did not appreciate, that which you did not value. If you don't invest into your own education, into your own knowledge, then you don't deserve it. Yeah. That's how this system operates. It's a capitalist system. And the positive law system, the legal order works the same. If you're not a go-getter, then the getting will be gone. I just tried to come up with something. I don't know, whatever. You get what I'm saying, though. If you're not a go-getter, you're not going to get. Should have just said that. Okay, it must be in my other bag. I will share that on part 2, okay? It's a document. Yeah, I'll share it on part 2. So come back for part 2, and I'll share it with you, or in a private consultation. It outlines the birthing process, what the document really is, okay. But anyways, the point is that it's assumed that you know how to read, for one, and if you don't know how to read, you would ask somebody to help you read, right? See, capitalist system. That's just the way the system works. Don't think of this as natural law. Think of this as positive law. They assume and presume that since you are a citizen here, a member here, that you know how to play the game. That's what they assume. And what is legal? The assumption stands until it is successfully rebutted. You told us not to give away the sauce. Of course I did. Don't give away the sauce. Yes, yes, yes. The enemy is ignorance of the culture and codes, statutes of the legal order. That's absolutely 100%, Bishop Magbone. That's exactly what it is. That's your true enemy is you. My mom used to say, point to yourself and say enemy. Because that's where the true enemy is. In me. Enemy. I'm my own worst enemy. You heard people say that? It's true. Stop looking without. Stop looking without. It's within. BB Production. Education creates understanding of what is happening and why. Absolutely. Water main. Oh, the light bulbs went on? Yeah. Secret sauce. Secret sauce. Okay. All right. All right. My crew is telling me don't give the secret sauce away. Okay. All right. I know we got people here that still take it, run off and go feed their family and their children, you know, their channels. They take our stuff, don't they? All right. Good warning. Thank you for that. Thank you for having my back. But what I will say is those legal documents that they give you, okay? Those legal documents that you sign, okay? Remember, I showed you this before, that on the Palms Manual where it's talking about the legal name, you are creating, they ask you on those documents, what will be the legal name or what will be the name of the child? You are taking a name that you created. You want to talk natural law? Let me show you where the line gets blurred, and it's by you. You blur the line. You blur the line because of ignorance. You blur the line. I'll do my best. My crew, they don't want me to give you the secret sauce, so I got to be, you know, because they support me. You don't, but they do. So I'm not going to steal give their stuff away. You want to be a part of KnowledgeWell Media? I tell you every week how you do it. Starting with donating for one, but go over to our Patreon and join us, and you will get the inside information, and therefore you don't have to be stealing from KnowledgeWell. You don't have to steal. Be a member, not a hater. Be a member. All right, so let's do this. We haven't done this in a while. I'm just going to make it real simple here. We're going to end up here, okay, with this. That which is natural must stay. And there's a clearly defined line. Let's draw that line. You know, see what I did there? Let's draw that clearly defined line. Only the ignorant and I mean that professionally and respectfully, only the ignorant blur this line, natural from artificial. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in upper and lowercase because you're artificial and you're not as good as we are in natural. Now, so anyways, you start off here. Everything is natural up until a certain point. And today I'm going to show you where that point is. All right. Tell me this. All right. Cover the children's ears for a minute, okay? Cover the children's ears real quick. Can you see this color? Oh, that's all right. All right. Cover the children's ears. All right. Daddy. I don't know what I want to do. How do I represent that? Well, okay, I'll just do it like this. Daddy and mommy, little head, little feet, whatever. Mommy and daddy, mommy plus daddy equals baby, right? Maybe not in this world, but it used to work like that. All right, mommy and daddy equal baby, okay? Natural. We're still in nature, aren't we? We're still in nature, right? Because, you know, humans, flesh, make a baby. All right, we're still in natural. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, baby shouldn't come yet. So mommy and daddy do the thing, right? And then 9 months, you add 9 months to that. 9 months or 10 months, my bad. 10 months. If you had children before, you know it's 10. If you never had children, you wouldn't understand. Get busy. So anyways, mommy and daddy plus 10 months equals baby. Now, let's just assume that, mommy, daddy, after 10 months, they go to the hospital. Okay. So, hospital is going to be over here, right? As a corporation, entity, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be over there. So you're picking up what I'm putting down, right? Okay. So mommy and daddy plus 10 months. Everything is natural, going through the trimesters, all that kind of stuff. And then they get to this point here, right? Now, how are they able, I'm going to help you out here. How are they as humans? Oh boy, I got to stop. My people are going to be mad at me here. Look, or upset. The humans, how are they able to go over and transgress? Trespass? Over into the artificial. How are they able to do that? That is amazing. Remember Roger Rabbit? A lot of things now that you're watching, you see they're mixing cartoons and humans together. What are they signifying? How does that happen? So, but alas, we know that they are merely actors. So mommy and daddy, right, in the natural do the thingy, right? And mommy starts to get bigger and 10 months nearly goes by and she's really big and it's about that time. Okay. So this is all private, right? Under natural law, no government told them when they could do the thing to make a thing, no government told them when they could do that. They made a conscious choice consensually and did that, whether married or not. Okay. But there comes a point in time where you're going to leave the private under natural law and you're going to go into the public realm. Now, when you go into the public as a human, going from the natural to the fictional, you must put on a persona, a mask, because it's time to act now that you're going into the public. The world is a stage. And so mommy and daddy put on a mask as the point, and they are able then to transgress, trespass, going from natural into the artificial. That's actually called a sin. A sin is a moral wrongdoing, meaning to breach the natural or moral law or God's law. God said that ye are a human. God said that you are the creator and not the you see what I'm saying? The head and not the tail. All of those cliches from the scriptures. You're not to be a borrower, but a lender only, right? You're the head, not the tail. You are. Did not I say that ye are gods? But alas, under the man-made system of positive law, it's the opposite. Okay. And so we are constantly traversing into the artificial, which is the moral law says that you are human. But when you put on the mask, the persona, and you go over into the artificial as a human, you are transgressing. And that's why you can find all kinds of debts, obligations, duties, death. The wages of sin, which is transgressing into the underworld, the world of corporations, the world of the dead. The wages of sin is death. That's why you can be recognized a debtor, an obligor. Okay. All right. Enough for that. Let's end up with this. Humans, baby, it's time to be born. They put on their mask and now they go into the artificial realm with their personas on. Okay. And you have a legal designation that sets the capacity, your standing, and any subsequent obligations are attached to the particular capacity you are acting in when you come over here in your mask. That's how humans can go from natural over into the artificial. Okay. And so now when you're in the hospital, all sorts of legalities are going on, baby. It's commerce, it's money time, it's contracts. Huh? How much can we get off of you? It's all contracts now. You're no longer over here. So stop with your legal argument or your natural law arguments about how they tricked you. And no. You couldn't even get over here unless you already had a legal mask. So you had that already before you even got to the situation of birthing a child. You just didn't know what you had. And ignorance of the law is okay. So now while you're here, they're going to bring the documentation. Oh, the baby's here. So you thought that this was really, let me see, what color do I want? You thought this was, mommy and daddy, the same as over here. You thought that, and then now it's baby, right? And now it's baby, even smaller. All right. You thought that this is equal or equivalent to this. That's what you thought, but it's not. It just appears. It's a mirror of the natural. Huh? You thought legal and lawful were the same thing, but they are not. But they look an awful lot the same or alike. That's why the confusion is there. Some of us don't know which realm we're in at any given time, but yet we're trying to make competent arguments about our rights. How are you going to make a competent argument about your rights when you don't even know what sphere you're in? Do ye not know that these rights are different from these rights and vice versa? Natural and inherent rights are different. You made the baby with your natural and inherent rights. Couldn't nobody tell you you can't make a baby? Huh? But yet when you get over here, they can take your baby, CPS, if they feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do, et cetera, et cetera. You know the stories, right? That should show you you're in a different sphere. Okay? If you were here and somebody come and try and take your children away, okay, you would get Grizzly Adams on them. Huh? You were in the middle of the woods somewhere, minding your own business, been living there, raising children, have a family, yard, everything, got your own wild animals, eating, cooking your own food, whatever. Ain't got no obligation to any state, no contract with the state. I'm just out in the middle of nowhere, right? Let somebody come and try and take your children. Huh? It's going to be a whole world different, ain't it? I ain't got to go into details, but I know. But only because you are in civilized under man-made law, positive law. You're not under the natural realm. You're not just a king of your own land and territories anymore. You're over here in the artificial realm. States, political communities, jural societies, governments, that's all over here. Politics, that's all over here. Public school systems, anytime you say public, you're over here. Public means what? Government. And government is what? Man-made artifice. It's a fiction, not fiction. Don't get away from saying fiction. Just say artificial, not fictional, because that suggests that it doesn't exist. Like it's fictional. It's imagination. It's like a figment of your imagination, but it's never produced. No, it has produced. You see governments everywhere, all around the world. So it's there. So don't call it fictional, call it artificial. All right. Made by man's art. All right. So we got to wrap up. So you're at the hospital. Everything now from that point on is legal. Everything from this point on. And that is the point I wanted to convey. Okay. Yes, you had natural inherent rights to make the baby in the private. You don't make babies outside. Well, maybe some people do, but you're not supposed to in the public. Be careful. Okay. You make them in the private, in your home or wherever, hotel, whatever you do. Yes. All right. So you're making it, the point is that you're making it, make the babies in the private. You have those relations, that intercourse, right? That commerce in the private. That's the point. Okay. But the public gets to enjoy the fruits and whatever. They get to know your family name. They get to know your children. That's in the public realm. Everybody is considered a citizen. Child goes off to public school education. Mom and dad go back to living and being civilians. Everybody's still wearing a mask or a particular standing or capacity in society is the point. Okay. So really, nobody was really tricked. Okay. It's just, again, when you're dealing in societies, living a civilian life, okay, it's assumed that you know the deal because you have come into or joined or become member to what's known as a political community, a jural society. And our particular system here in the US is a capitalist system. It's assumed that all players know the game. That's just an assumption. Now, you can make individual arguments. You can make arguments, I'll say, that you were never taught. You can make those type of arguments, okay? But government is merely is merely going to lay that responsibility upon your forefathers and foremothers. That's how it's going to work. They're not going to allow you to escape the requirements, the duties, the obligations of a citizen just because you're saying you didn't know what you had gotten into. Because most of us are 30, 40, 50 years old now. And so, you're going to sit here and say you didn't know about what? Like, what do you want us to do about that? Where was your mom and dad? Did they not teach you? How many generations have you been in the United States? That's the kind of, it's going to be intolerant. So that is not the key. You won't win that argument. Okay. In closing, you will not win that argument. So stop. Just don't even worry about it. I got to be delicate here. I'm gonna be careful because I'm not disclosing the sauce. But I will tell you this generally. It has to do with the mask you wear. That's the key. It always was the key. It had you. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end. All right. And I invite you, if you want to know more, I can give you more detailed information about the remedy. And this is all matter-of-factly backed up by law. A legally protectable interest ye may claim if you have the sauce. KnowledgeWell Media has a sauce. We're willing to share it with you, but what do they say? You don't cast your pearls among swine. All right. We're not going to do that. And I'm not calling you a swine. if you're a visitor here. What I'm saying is capitalism, baby. I'll help you get yours if you can help me get mine. We scratch each other's back. Now, if we lived in the jungle, out in the wild, it might be a little bit different. Might be different. But here we have to each feed our family. What we spend our time doing has to be construed as and should be considered a wise investment. We should be wise stewards. Here, trusts rule the day. The concept of trust rules the day. Okay, so you must be thrifty. You must be wise. You must be educated. Not only that, but you must know how to properly apply that information in the proper context. If I didn't give you anything else today, I gave you a way to recognize and even perhaps to find what's called natural law. It's your choice what you do going forward. But I did my due diligence today and at least given you that. So when you're reading the law and the laws from this point forward, or any information, watch for certain terminology that is indicative of the type of law or sphere you should be using or recognizing for proper consideration. So if I didn't give you anything else, I gave you that. And that is everything. All right, let me look at the comment section real quick as we round the corner. Oh, we did 2 hours and 3 minutes. Let's see here. Got to give the understanding before the receipt should be given. Okay. The recipe, my bad. Got to give the understanding before the recipe should be given. All right. Water main. Yes, water main. The group. If you want to join the group, if you want to have that inside information, not only should you join the Patreon, I'll put it up in a moment, join the Patreon, but we also have a group that a private group. And we are becoming dangerous in the right context, of course. All right. All God says all consults are good for urgent, pressing matters. Also are recorded and can be rewatched as needed. Well worth it. Thank you for that. Yep. So you come and get a consultation with us. We do record them. Pertinent information, obviously, we can always edit out information that you don't want to be there, but we do record them. That way you can, for a small donation, go ahead and order those recordings so that you can go over the information as many times as you want, and keep that as part of your library, your educational library. So we do afford that. If you are interested in a consultation to talk about the issue of child support or any other issue, we will definitely help you out there through a consultation for educational purposes only. Okay. Thank you for that, all gods. Appreciate that appreciation. Waterman says contract. Yes. If a child is given permanently to a guardian and custody is not a question, what's the process to remove child support? One more time. If a child is given permanently to a guardian and custody is not a question, what's the process to remove child support? I'm trying to understand that question. I guess custody is so custody is not a question. Well, yeah, if the courts have already determined guardianship, then yeah, custody would not be a question then. But then you would want to remove, or what's the process to remove child support? Well, basically child support under Title 4D is merely a collection agency. That's all it is. They collect the expenses of Title 4A. All right. Title 4A, under the Social Security and what have you, right? Those programs for families, TANF, AFDC, what have you. They're the ones that, distribute the funds, partial grants from the government, partial state funds. So the state is trying to recoup some of the expenditures. And that's what Title 4D is there for. It is merely the collection agency for the child support system, Office of Child Support Enforcement. Okay. And so with that being said, that's why child support is there. Okay. To basically collect and to retain or get some of those expenditures back from the non-custodial parent. Okay, so to remove child support is essentially the same thing as if the collection agency or whatever has put a lien on your bank account or whatever because you have not paid back the debt. Okay, so how would you get that removed? Well, one, you either pay the debt or you argue the validity of the debt or argue whether there are conscionability issues or what's the other one? Adhesions, or in violation of state statute, state law. Okay, so again, that's something that we would cover in a private consultation because to disclose the sauce, or you could join our group or our Patreon, and we cover things that address that. Again, does the law apply to you as written? Okay, it's very difficult to speak on. It's very difficult to speak on without giving away too much. But all guys, you know you can get at me. You know. BB Productions, contract is king. So many things in life are contracts. What we just don't know, their contracts. Yeah. And even when you come to the understanding and understanding that everything is contract, right? If you don't know your rights under the legal order as pertains to that particular contract, it still does you no good. There are different rights that are enjoyed under the legal order, under jurosphere. That's different from under natural law. Okay, and more times than not, you are part of a membership of a civil society, a jural society, a state. More than likely, you're finding yourself there, unless you live off grid. Turning your own peat moss, planting your own crops, all those type of things. If you're not doing that, you're probably under some jural society, thereby considered a member in the eyes of the law. Therefore, you cannot be perceived as we stated in the beginning, an individual. And if you can't and are not perceived as an individual, then what right do you really have to lay claim to the individual protections that the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, affords you? I said a whole lot there. You might want to rewind that like 5 times. All right, with that being said, I really appreciate you all for being here. Great participation. Our viewership is going up. I really appreciate that. Even you that like to come and piecemeal and steal away and then take it back to your channel. Even you, thanks for being here. You add to my metrics. And you're welcome. All you have to do is just shout a brother out. Just say, hey, so-and-so came up with this information. I went over there. I went shopping and they got some good food over there. I just want to let y'all know. Y'all should go and visit. That's all I'm saying. Just give credit to where credit is due. Just if you take something, leave something. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. All right? To thine own self be true. So anyways, with that being said, now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? All right? I had much more, but we'll save it. We'll be back here. Remember, we're here every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here at KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. Also, we do now Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for information, knowledge, and power that you can get nowhere else. Not like this, all right? Fact-based, hard-hitting, and in your face. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Make it a great football day. Whatever. Enjoy it. All right, have fun. We'll see you back here on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let me make sure I got all my comments out of the way. All guys says some parents that give children to a guardian still get charged child support. Absolutely. Absolutely. Depends on how much the state is involved, how many programs are needed, welfare, you know, what's it called? TANF, you know, if you got food share or whatever they call it now. Those are all subsidies that you're getting from the state and the government. So they just come to recoup it. That's what Title 4D is for. One day we'll do a history background. I think I did already, but we'll do a background on child support, where it stemmed from, what the idea was behind it, how the Social Security Act plays a part of it. We'll cover that. We'll have to do that coming up here shortly. Okay. I know child support is a big issue, but get a consultation with us and we can discuss your individual situation. I won't say problem. All right. With that being said, let me make sure I got all this out of the way. All right. Love you all. Thank you all. Don't forget to go over to our KnowledgeWell4you@gmail.com. That's how you can contact us for consultations or just a question that you might have. Also, the Square site is where you go for products. We got videos there that we don't put anywhere else that you can purchase from there. Go shopping. Have a good time. It's a great time to start planning for gifts, even if you don't necessarily observe the holidays. You know, more times than not, people appreciate a little gift or whatever. Why not give them something from KnowledgeWell Media? What's a better investment than to grow the light inside of somebody, give them knowledge, right? So you can go over there and peruse through our product lines and pick up a product. All right. That's a great way to help us promote and keep us on the air financially. If you can't do anything else, that's a good way to do it. All right. Otherwise, bring somebody back with you next time on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. And let's see what else we got here. Don't forget to go over to BB Production Studios on the KnowledgeWell channel, or KnowledgeWell, the YouTube channel. All right. Look for BB Production Studio. All right. They also handle our product lines and things. You might find something that you like. It's great opportunity for gifts, or to purchase gifts and all that. They got all kinds of stuff over there. All right. Go and check it out. Okay, it's BB Production Studio. There they are. All right, BB Production Studio. Some new items dropping soon. All right, we got new items dropping soon. Awesome. All right, and our Patreon, somebody mentioned it. It's a great place to be part of an exclusivity. The information that we provide there that we don't provide on the public forum. All right, if you want to join that, there's how you do it. All right. We look forward to you joining our family, becoming a KnowledgeWellian. All right. All God says, have a great rest of your day and blessings. Thank you for that. Received. All right. There's the link, or the HTTPS, the URL for BB's boutique. Follow that. Take a moment and go on over there real quick. Take a look, see if there's something that you like. Let them know that KnowledgeWell Media sent you, and perhaps, I'm sure they'll give you a discount. All right. You are welcome. BB Productions. Rael coming in, bringing up the tail end. Peace to you as well. Thank you for being here. Make sure you put this on repeat and watch it again. Hit the thumbs up as you come on in. All right. Time to go. Time to dance. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Peace.
subscribing and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site.